everyone, I'm Lynette Clark and welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be doing the final plan with me for 2021. I've been a bit indecisive as to exactly what theme I was going to do for the festive season because the possibilities are so endless. But for the last couple of years I've been seeing these little Christmas gnomes, or gonks as us Brits like to call them, absolutely everywhere. They're kind of like the Marmite of the festive world. You either love them or you hate them. I personally think that they're adorable. Traditionally, they have short, squat bodies and pointy hats that cover their eyes, together with cute bulbous noses and long white beards. But I wanted to put my own spin on it and recreate my family as gonks. I will be mostly working in watercolour pencils, but also using standard watercolour as well. Everything that I use in today's video I will leave in the description down below. Believe it or not, this creature that looks so much like Santa was not originally a Christmas icon. Gonks are inspired by gnomes and hobgoblins found in Scandinavian and Nordic mythology. In the old lore, these short-bearded folks would make their home in the houses and barns of farms. If they liked the family that they chose to live with, they would protect that family and their land with fairy-like magic bringing good fortune. If the family disrespected their land or the gonk's home, however, they would become angry and mischievous, playing tricks and creating misery for the humans. For this month's cover page, I'm creating gonk versions of myself and my husband, who is very much part of this channel because he creates 99% of my music. And then there's Bob. If you've watched some of my older videos, you would have seen my cat Bob, demanding all my attention as I'm trying to film. Now I think of it, he hasn't made an appearance in my last few videos. Probably due to the fact that the conservatory where I create and film is getting too cold for him, and he much prefers being in front of the fire now, and I can't say I really blame him. It's going to be interesting for me to depict each of our own personalities in gnome form, whilst it's still looking festive and as traditional as I can. It's quite easy for myself where I have ginger hair. That green suits me, but for Seb, he usually is wearing a band t-shirt and skinny ripped jeans, so not very festive, but he looks good in red, so I put him in red. A few months ago I got these set of beautiful gold watercolour paints, and I've been looking for an excuse to use them, so as it's Christmas, I'm going to make sure I use them as much as possible. So one of my many flaws is that I'm a complete control freak when it comes to decorating. So I thought it would be appropriate that I draw myself decorating a tree. Although in real life it's something that we always do as a family together. I would, however, be really interested to know how many of you out there are like me and, be it wrong or right, wait for the kids to go to bed and then redecorate the tree, because you find that they have bunched everything together and it just looks wrong. I don't know, maybe I'm just a bad person. Going back to the cover page, I'm not a fan of my handwriting, so I used this stamp that I found free in a magazine. So for the next spread, it's the calendar page. The boxes in the calendar grid are 5x4, and I'm not one for rulers, so I just freehanded it. I'm not bothered about clinical straight lines and just wanted to give it a bit more of an organic look, which is a pretentious way of saying either rustic or messy. So I have done a gonk style pug because I have a little pug called Elsa, and next to Elsa I have done a baby gonk because my youngest of 6 is coming up to a 1.5 years and her name is Willow. Now I know I'm going to mess up a lot of pronunciation now, but gonks aren't actually called gonks. So the Swedish call them tomte, and the Danish and the Norwegians call them nisse. And the Finnish call them tontu, which is the one that I find the most difficult to pronounce. So apologies if there's anyone out there who knows how much I've just butchered your language. The Brits renamed them Gonks after the troll dolls that became popular in the 1970s. So for the last few months I keep forgetting to add an important date section, so I've made sure with everything that's going on this month, it's a busy month for everybody, that I add one. So there's really not much left to do on this page. I'm just adding a few gold stars and a little bit of washi tape here and there, which was a nightmare to peel off the roll. I think it was Paper Mania washi tape, so just heads up on that. And then adding the dates, and that's it. On to the next. So for my December bucket list, I wanted to do something a little bit different because it's Christmas, and create my own kind of bucket list advent calendar. So instead of your little bit of chocolate, it's more geared around experiences and creating things like making gingerbread men, popcorn garlands for the birds outside because they need that this time of year, decorating the house, the tree, making Christmas cards, family games night. So this actually wasn't my idea. I have to give credit to my husband. It was his, and he wanted to give me more work to do. He was like, why not have an advent calendar actually in your journal? So I was like, how am I going to make the doors without them looking rubbish? So I looked at the Cricut design space, and I actually found one that's on there, but I modified it a little bit. So I cheated and used the Cricut. So the cardstock I used, it's quite thick. My daughter gave it to me, but it's from the works and it's double-sided. I did like the tartan, but I decided to go with the knitted effect pattern on the other side because I thought it was more in keeping with the theme. It was a bit fiddly trying to get it all stuck down and lined up, but after a lot of perseverance I got there in the end. I also cut out these two banners, one in plain green as a background and one in red with the text cut out, and also cut some stars out to decorate and some frames to decorate the advent calendar doors. So all that's left to do now is add some numbers on the doors, and I'm pretty chuffed with how it turned out. So for my next page I am doing a line a day. For anyone who doesn't know what one of those are, basically it's where you have one line for each day of the month, and where you write one sentence each day, and it could be basically anything that you want. So something that you're grateful for, something that's positive that's happened, some nice memories, or something you did for someone else, something you've learnt. Simple little things like that that are just nice to have a record of. And then over on the other page, which you'll see in a minute, I did actually cut out a envelope shape using the Cricut. I don't know where the footage for that's gone. I accidentally erased it, I think. But I wanted to have this little envelope to hide all my gift ideas and what I've bought or what I intend to buy, because I couldn't really have it displayed here on YouTube for my family to see. And I thought it'd be a really cute idea. I'm on my habit tracker pages now, so I'm tracking my usual things, but with the addition of forcing myself to go out because I have become a bit of a recluse, and that needs to stop. I think sometimes you can know that things aren't the best, but having a visual aid like this where you're not seeing the boxes ticked or whatever, it can help motivate you to do something about it and make positive steps in the right direction. Also, it's a good reminder to do things that you would usually forget, like watering my plants. I don't think I would have any plants at all if I didn't actually track when I've watered them. So I'm just finishing this little Gonk, which is a representation of my eldest daughter, who has asked to be put in pink. So this is her design choice, and I've also depicted her with a bottle of Plonk raising her glass to the festive season, because she does enjoy going to the pub. So next on the agenda is my mood trackers. I was trying to think of ways that I could keep in theme with the whole Gonk thing without having to draw 31 different Gonks. So I came up with the idea of doing their little hats, scarves, gloves and socks instead. So another Gonk fact, an old Nordic custom involves leaving out a bowl of porridge during the winter solstice so that the Gonk may feast and join in the festivities. As Christmas became more prominent across Scandinavia, these stories and traditions stayed with the people and Gonks eventually came to be part of Christmas. So because it's Christmas and there always seems to be an endless list of things that I need to do, I have created a to-do list spread. And there's not much more I can really elaborate on that, but I'm hoping this will help keep me a bit more organised and therefore keep the stress levels down a little bit. So this little gnome here is a representation of my son. In real life, he's very good at nagging his mum, so I thought he'd be very good for nagging me in my journal. My next spread is for my social media growth trackers, and then on the other page, a brain dump. The purpose of my social media growth trackers is to keep me motivated and see that my channel is going in the right direction. And if not, then what I need to work on. I'm in my 4th month of my YouTube journey and I have hit my first milestone of 100 subscribers. Yay! So thank you to all of you who are supporting the channel. You are all incredibly appreciated. Genuinely, every single subscriber, comment and like means the absolute world to me, so thank you. So the Gonks I have done on this page are of my in-laws, Jan and Steve. My aim was to make Nanny look like the fairy on the top of the Christmas tree and Grandad like Santa. So for this page, this is something that I haven't really done in my bullet journal before and I'm not sure why. So I'm doing a Christmas recipe spread. When I find new recipes I'd like to try, I usually just find them on Google. For me, reading a recipe off the screen often results in me skipping a step or two by mistake, or forgetting an ingredient altogether. So with that in mind, I figured I should include a recipe page in my Bujo this month. And I thought it'd also be nice to include some of my own recipes. So aside from all the gingerbread men, cinnamon sticks and Starry anise, I've included a Gonk version of my second eldest daughter, Bryony. She really loves baking and her cakes are fantastic. And also my cat named Chicken. So this is my second to last layout of the month. And just for a little bit of fun, I wanted to do a Christmas film watch list. Basically, I'm going to create a load of doodle frames, and then inside those frames, I am going to have like an image that correlates to a Christmas film that I want to watch. Or if I can't think of anything inventive, then just write the title of the film in each page, and then hopefully we'll get to tick them off when we've watched them. So there are a few essential films that I have to watch each Christmas, one of which is Nightmare Before Christmas, Love Actually, and Scrooged and The Muppets Christmas Carol. What's your favourite Christmas film of all time? What do you have to watch every Christmas? Let me know in the comments below. So I'm on to my final page, which is my first weekly spread of December. And the 2 Gonks that I'm depicting in this weekly spread are of my teenage daughter Phoebe, who you will not find without a set of headphones on her head, so I made sure to include those. I did contemplate for a few minutes adding a phone or a book or her Switch even in her hand, but I thought she might get a bit cross with me if I did, so instead I went for the option of her holding the hand of her little sister Gwendolyn, who will be 3 on Christmas Eve. If you notice the original sketch, I did actually change Gwen's hat because Seb came in and he was like, oh, why haven't you added her Gruffalo hat, which she looks absolutely adorable in, with her wild, crazy red hair flowing out from underneath. So both my babies are absolutely obsessed with the Julia Donaldson book, so I thought I'd change it and give her her Gruffalo hat. Her favourite little toy at the moment is a little rainbow bunny. I did try to do it in rainbow colours, but it all smudged together and turned pink, so that will have to do. All that's left for me to really do now is add these little gold stars, which I want to add the number of the date on top of, and then I've done like this dial design and adding the days of the week along the lines. And that's it for December. I know that this is an incredibly cliche thing to say, but this year has flown by. I can't believe we're at the end of 2021 already. With all these festive layouts, I'm actually starting to feel a little bit Christmassy. So which one of these festive spreads was your favourite? Are you all ready for Christmas, or are you like me and completely disorganised and are kind of leaving everything to the last minute, which is really starting to stress me out? But I'm sure, like every year, I'll get everything done and all this stressing will be for nothing. And on that note, all that's left for me to say is, once again, thank you so much for supporting my channel and my art. And if you are new to the channel, then please consider subscribing. It would make my Christmas. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful, safe, happy, healthy Christmas and a wonderful new year. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.